Alrighty, we might as well kick off. Here we are for semi-final number 1. We've got the split B server, so these guys, just reading through the chat today, I'll just see if I can find it quickly. I saw some information come through from Penguin with regards to the top 2, I think it is, from this group will move up into split A, and the bottom 2 for the top server will move back down into this split B. So just trying to even out the playing field a little bit. But we are at Zolder, semi-final 1, as I said. Track consists of 11 corners. I won't be able to pronounce all the names for the corners. Every corner ends with a bock or something to that effect. There is a Villeneuve chicane, so that's a very popular name. But just looking at the timetable here through practice for the B group is pretty tight actually at the top, between the top 5. So Riggsy and Penguin have been swapping times, and Gaz has even put it up there just exactly the same time as Penguin. So 27 degrees, so ambient temperature of 22. We'll just make sure we keep an eye on that as well, just to see what happens through. So if you're sitting at home and you've got my stream going on the big screen, hopefully it's coming through nice and clear and not too bright for myself. Still all very new with this camera stuff, so still trying to work out what the hell is going on, but should be interesting. But big shout out to the guys last night too with that Zolder at night time on PC World as qualifying is about to start. Couple of little dramas there with the pit board that got moved at some stage when it was knocked, and a lot of drivers actually logged a 30-minute stop-go penalty because of speeding the pits, which I can imagine would have firstly confused a lot of people at the start, wondering what the hell's going on, but secondly frustrating. So I know that there were certainly some big movers and shakers from the rear of the field coming up, so that was really good, but it definitely changed the overall outcome of positions where you would normally see people, you know, at the top, the middle, or at the back, the BOPs, so the backer packers. So you know what, that's just what it is. That's racing. That's what happens. And as it's been advised to myself before, is it's always recommended to have a secondary spot to choose from when you come into the pits in the event that the board does move and you miss out. So anyway, just a quick shout out to the sponsors. So Coach Dave Academy, the Sim Grid, we've got ICR, GRT, Serbi Acoustic Racing, P&L, and obviously we've got Team BHR in there, not as a sponsor but as a team, but you know they're in amongst it all as well. So just waiting for these guys as they cycle around. Track temperature of 30, so it's gone up a couple of degrees. So for these guys that have gotten out quite quick, I'm just wondering if they maybe did do adjustments to the tyre pressures. I'm not sure. We're just on board with Riggsy at the moment, we'll just jump inside his car and just have a listen to this thing as he goes around turn 4. Really important that you get off the gas nice and early here, and you've got to trust that the car's going to grip up at the front, and then you can actually power out of that corner quite quickly. And this chicane here is absolutely deadly, and you can see a few skid marks around there too. And Riggsy's done an awesome job going through there. He's just gone through nicely without actually going over the ripple strips. The ripple strips will launch you. The other thing that's really tricky with this track as well is it's takes a lot of victims with track limits, and it's a tight track, so you know we've got a field of 15 or 16 cars, which I'm thinking and hoping that we have some pretty good battles. So, and I'll go through the list in a sec, but we'll just follow Riggsy to the end of this lap and see what time he puts down. Well, he's just gone a little bit deep, he's lost some time, just washed some speed off. He won't be happy with that. So he still keeps him in P1, which is awesome to see where and who. So we haven't got anyone. Here we go. So Penguin's just got him on that lap by 1/10 of a second, and Gaz has just dropped in at 29.9 in the Mercedes AMG. I don't think anyone would have been expecting that, let alone Gazza as well, so good on you, mate, for putting it up there. And while you're in P1, I'll give you all the accolades that I possibly can, whilst it's still there. So very quick times. I have no doubts that the times will come down a little bit more. But so we've got Gazza in P1 at this stage. Black Falcon's just dropped it in there, 0.003 of a second quicker than Gazza, so wow, that is very close. Sparky God in the Audi. Let's have a look. It's just that looks like that was Team Little Bear with those funky colours that he normally runs. But Sparky God in the Audi's got a very unique looking livery, so I really like that. It stands out. Stan House in the Aston Martin. Kind of half tempted to really give this car a drive with the new update that comes. I reckon as those guys have just pulled off, I reckon it's going to be an angry car with a BOP change. So should be very interesting. We got KK running around in the Ferrari. Fly in the Mako. I'm just starting in for a second. He's I reckon he'll put it up close top 5 without actually looking on board with him. There you go, 5th position. So Fly's getting around there. Arrow. Oh, so it was Arrow in the bright colours. So no, it wasn't. Here we go. Where is he? Camera's catching up. In the Aston Martin. Actually, this is a wicked looking livery. Actually, I like that. I can't actually remember ever seeing that in the standard livery pack. But either way, he's getting around, and hopefully the missus is while she's playing Minecraft is listening in the background. So hello there to Miss Arrow. Team Little Bear in the Honda, and Jono Stan in the Lamborghini. JCR flying around. No, he's not. He's in the pits. There you go. Alrighty, so far Riggsy's in P1, Gazza, Riggsy's in P2, JJ Penguin is in P1. Gazza's flying around in position 3 at the moment, and Black Falcon's moved up in the Bentley into 4th spot. So hello to all the people that are watching. Welcome, thank you very much for jumping on board and participating in what's going to be a cracking race. This is the semi-final for the B group for the GT3 series 5.2 season. So there's no teams based in amongst any of this racing. This is all just free for all, and we are at Zolder. So if you haven't raced at Zolder before, you'll know that it's, well, you won't know, but it's a very tricky track to race on, and it's got some pretty big curbing that Black Falcon's about to encounter. So we'll just stay with Black Falcon at the moment, just see how this Bentley absorbs. So yeah, just ride straight over the top like they're not even there pretty much. So that's one of the beauties of the Bentley. But as I've mentioned previously in my streams, the Bentley does have issues with punches and losing pressures in tyres when you hit the bump. So whilst you may not feel the bump so much through the car, it absolutely does play havoc with the actual tyres of the Bentley. So, and one of the things that I love about what Black Falcon's done here is every round he's basically driven a different car. So he was in the Porsche there at Zandvoort, run around on ECU map 1, which is the total opposite, but we won't remind him of that. So if anyone is thinking about driving the Porsche, it's ECU map 8 is the one that you need to be on. And I think from memory he was at in the McLaren at one stage there as well, but always has the black livery. Just yeah, it looks pretty cool actually on track. So it's probably the matte black by the looks of it. But good luck to Black Falcon as he just drops up into P2, one hundredth of a second behind JJ Penguin. So yeah, some pretty quick times, but a little bit of a gap between 5th position and 6th position. But just remembering that the two guys who finished top 2 in this race get to move up into the A group. So there's certainly an incentive to finish in the top 2. So I can imagine that in this 60-minute race, which has a mandatory pit stop of a mandatory tyre change, fuel is optional. There will certainly be some jostling, I think, for positions as we go along. So we got coming down the main straight, car 30. Oh, that's Penguin. Jump on. There he is. He's just having a bit of a wobble. Just a little bit of a moment there. Let's have a bit of a listen and a watch. Penguin comes into the 3rd sector at Zolder. So if he's going to put down a decent time, he's just dropped down into P2. I'll have a look who's 50 in there for pole position, but he'll certainly be looking to capitalise in the next couple of laps. And you can see how important it is on exit of that turn 11, so a quick shift up into 2nd gear. And what it's done is it basically stops the engine going and activating traction control. So a quick flick up to 2nd gear, it's just lost some speed there as it's drifted out, but pushing it up to 2nd gear, what it does is it just allows the car to torque up a little bit more and get better drive out of the corners. So he was about 2/10 down on his PB there, and he's just been able to rein it back in, but he's got some lap traffic in front of him, which has unsettled him. I would say that he'll probably reset for the next lap and try and take that through with a couple of minutes to go on the with qualifying. So Black Falcon with a 28.7, very quick time, very quick time. I can't remember what times they were doing last night for pole position. Someone that's on the stream might be able to let me know what the not exact time, but what was it a minute 28, minute 27 for the pole position at on the Zolder race last night. So I can't imagine racing with a huge field of cars at night time at this track would be kind of a little bit daunting. So especially for the guys that are out there that are still learning, that's a very good introduction to ACC, especially with that type of racing. And given that they've got the Pro-Am and the AM all mixed in together, Actually, shout out to Haggis. So, top AM driver there last night. Did a really good job also. Alright, so Riggsy's in P3 at the moment. He's 4/10 in behind JJ. Gazza in the AMG. As I've said before, he's pretty much stuck with his car right through. So I would have no doubts that this is probably going to be his car of choice for season 6 when it kicks off post the update that's coming that we're all waiting for. And just some good news too, the fact that we're going to be able to run up to 30 cars on track on console PS5 is going to be awesome. Like, just having that many more cars on track. It's not overloaded, but enough to really like bring some more guys into the mix. You know, because when you look at the difference between Pro and Pro-Am, sometimes the difference in terms of lap times is so small that you know, a good bunch of those guys that run in the Pro-Am could easily run in the Pro Series and be just as competitive as the guys are running up front. So 30 cars on track, certainly looking forward to that. Alright, there's still a few cars cycling around. We've got KK in position 6 in the Ferrari, 1.4 seconds behind Saint Sim. He's in the Lambo. Not sure if he's got his mates watching tonight. Hopefully he has, but if they are out there, big shout out to those guys. Stanhouse in P8, Sparky Gods in the pits in P9, Max Gassett. Massive shout out to Max as well. So the Thursday night race GT4 series at Laguna Seca. So between him, Bounty and Scotty Pye, even, you know, a few of the other guys that were involved, some unbelievable racing in terms of closeness and just amazing. So a big apology to Ty Morgo as well. So as soon as I went on to him and made mention that I'd followed him around the track a few times, that he actually speared off into the wall. So I don't think that's the commentator's curse. I think that he just stuffed up, but felt bad that I just had to cross to him just as that happened. So apologies, mate. So Riggsy, Fly's just come through and put it into P3, just in front of in front of Riggsy there. So Riggsy's still on a hot lap here. To see if he's improved his time. Well, he was very, very close. So he's hunting and searching, coming up into sector 3 here. He's 1/10 behind his PB, so he will want to try. What he'll want to try in through this last little section of corners is to get a really good exit. So I'll be interested to see if he actually does a quick shift up. Just goes past 100, but oh, he's gone way. Nah, he's not sure what was going on there, but maybe he didn't think that he was in for a chance. Alrighty, so there's your field for tonight. Scotty Pye's come back in. I did notice that he was in there earlier. Not sure why he's dropped out and then come back. But good to see that we've got 16 in the field. So Black Falcon in the Bentley in pole position. Well done, mate. That is a really, really good effort. JJ Penguin, 3/10 behind him in P2. Fly Sky in P3 in the Macca. Riggsy in P4. Gazza, P5. Saint Sim in 6. KK in 7. JCR in P8. Jono Stan in P9 and Stanhouse in P10. And then we've got the other guys that just make up the numbers behind that. So you can just see the lap times there. You know, we've got, going back to Arrow and Team Little Bear, there's, you know, 4.5 seconds difference between where they are to where, you know, the top guys are running. So that's okay. It's a 60-minute race. Anything can happen. It's all about having fun, of course. and you know, it's not always just about winning all the time. So, but here we are on a balmy Tuesday night. Currently down here in Melbourne. It's been quite warm here today. And just apologies to Kraken. Sorry, mate. I just was shortening up just for ease of my voice. So Kraken it is in P7. So yeah, it's been quite warm down here in Melbourne. Just have a little sip. As we've got 2 minutes and 50 seconds before race start. Might just shoot down and try and jump on board with Gazza, I think. See if we can't, hopefully when they cycle around. What the guys are doing at the moment is, I'm not sure through practice of the servers for the week whether track temperature goes up or the track temperature comes down. But it's basically, it's anything could happen. The variable percentage is set. It could rain. It could be cloudy. Could even be foggy. But I doubt it. But what we are looking for tonight is a very clean race. So just while we're waiting as well, just to want to reinforce something to our racing community that guys, you know, that just to let you know that if there's anyone out there struggling, you know, with things that are going on in their life or mental health or whatever it might be, you know, we've got some really good guys, and you know, even one of the names that comes to name is Footner, who is an awesome support for people that have had struggles. But by all means, you know, reach out. We've got some good people in the community that very good people to talk to and help out wherever we can. So it's, you know, the last couple of years have been pretty tough for a lot of us, and you know, for the community that we've got of people, it's always really important that we look out for each other as a racing family, I'll call it. So and just you know, that there are supports out there like, you know, Beyond Blue and Black Dog and all that sort of stuff. So don't be afraid to, you know, put your hand up. Alrighty, so the session start, clock time counts down.
30 seconds.
Race director has given them a pre-warning of time left. You'll start to see the cars drop down. So all the guys would have been flat out probably making changes to their setups like I normally do, which is not recommended. Especially when you practice for a couple of weeks and then it comes to race night and you start making changes
10 seconds.
with 30 seconds before a race. Alright, we're just on board with Gazza in the AMG. Let's wait for him to take off. This is formation lap, so this will be a controlled start as well. See if I can just change the camera view, which I can. Beautiful. So big emphasis right now is trying to warm up tyre pressures. Unfortunately, we don't get to see the actual tyre pressures for each of the races on track. But so there will be a lot of swerving, you know, rolling the tyre wall of the tyre over, generating some heat. You know, even with the setup of the cars, people, you know, have brake ducts closed or a little bit more open. Just depends. One of the things with the tight tracks here is, and it's a mistake that some people can make, is that they have the brake ducts shut off to generate as much heat as they possibly can, but because you're on the brake so much, sometimes it's better to try and set your car up with slightly more open brake ducts to cool it all down quicker. Because once the heat's in there and its tyres do get up to that temperature, they don't really drop off. And if your brakes are running hot, then that tyre pressure will definitely stay up there. And if it goes above 28 degrees, or 28 psi, apologies, it can make the car very, very difficult to drive on. So thank you again for the people that are watching. Definitely hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel for Advan 72 Racing, by all means do. Not obliged to, but it certainly helps get us out there a little bit more. I do this on behalf of Race on Oz, just to promote what you guys do on track and to show the skills. As we see someone in that Ferrari there absolutely just fishtailing down. So very, very keen. All right. So they will be bunching up. As I said, it is a controlled start. They'll need to slow up, fall into position. Race director will initiate the race start in a second, so that they don't speed over 70 kilometres an hour. Otherwise, they will get a drive-through penalty.
Green light. Go,
There's
go,
the
go.
green. We've got a green light. Green, green, green. So we're on Gaza. It's all bunching up, and we've got some contact. Number 96, who's John O'Stan's gone slightly wide there. He has. Oh, he's just. We might just leave that one alone. Someone's gone. Sparky's gone straight into the fence. So Max has come through. I'm not sure if he was part of that. But yeah, that was a little bit messy. So we'll just see what's going on up the front. We've got Fly. Fly's had an incident as well, so he's fallen right back. We'll just wait for the timing screen to catch back up. So he won't be very happy with that. And even Black Falcon's just dropped down to P3, so we've got Riggsy in front of him. Gaz is right up in behind Black Falcon. And JJ Penguin has found his way up into position 1, so he will certainly be wanting to pull away from Riggsy as quickly as he possibly can. So Gaz is putting some heat on Falcon, and Fiona's just done a big shout out to Riggsy, so go Riggsy. We're all a massive fan of Riggsy. It's an absolutely top bloke. He's in with Burradog as a co-captain of GRT in the normal season running. Let's have a look where Fly's going on. It doesn't look like he's got any damage, hopefully, which is good. So maybe he might have just had an off-track moment. I've got Kraken in the pits. So maybe this is so he's got a fair bit of damage there actually. Maybe this is a strategic move just to try and get that damage rectified, get the pit stop done, and then hopefully drive around. We've got Stanhouse on Max. So Stanhouse has gone wide in the Aston Martin. Max has just kept his race line. He's gone through that chicane, which we've got Familiar in there as well. In the Lexus, and we've got Riggsy. Gaz has gotten past Black Falcon, so there's all happening at the moment. This is crazy stuff. We've got number 97 still in the pits. So he must be a fair bit of damage, but Riggs has got the light on, so he means business. We'll jump on board with him here for a second. So he's even on the back of that start-finish straight there, 5th gear, just getting on the rev limiter. and again there in third gear on approach into turn 2 as he makes his way around turn 3 on approach to turn 4. So this is where you need to lift, and you'll see it, that big lift, a little bit of brake application, drive through that corner at turn 4 and make your way down to the Klein chicane. And when you're in behind somebody too, it's always really hard to spot the turn in without actually running over the river strips and actually, you know, unsettling the car. And you can see that he's just dropped off a fraction from Penguin. But it certainly sounds like he's got this Lexus dialed in. A few weeks ago when I was talking to Riggsy, he did say that he had some secrets up his sleeve with this car. Now I don't know what's happened to Gazza, but he's gone all the way back somewhere. Let's just have a quick look. He's back into 4th position. He must have had a little bit of a moment there, because Black Falcon has actually gotten past him again. St. Sims moved up into P5 with JCR in P6 and Max is in P7, Arrow P8, Stanhouse and in P9 and Johnny Stan in P10. So this is it's all pretty intense. We've got closest battles at the moment. You've got Stanhouse right up the rear end of Arrow, filling his mirrors as they make their way down, trying to catch up with JCR. So even though Kraken went into the pits, he hasn't actually registered a pit stop, so he will need to go back in to the pits to have that mandatory pit stop ticked off. So let's go, Riggsy. Come on, mate. Just get in there, drive a nice, safe race. Try and put some pressure on Penguin. I know if you finish in the top 2, you move up to the next, into the A group, but it would still be nice to take the win, and we'll come away with the win. And you know, we don't want Penguin winning everything down here. We know that he's a very good driver. This guy's even I don't know. Who was that in the? Someone just lost it. There's too much going on at the moment, just trying to keep up with what's happening. But Stanhouse on Arrow. So we've got 2 Aston Martins together. So we'll just keep an eye on the battles. It is actually starting to spread out a little bit. We've got Familiar on Team Little Bear in the Lexus, getting a little bit of a tow down the start-finish line. He's going to try and make a move on the outside, which is gutsy, because he's going to go out into the... Whoa! Team... I don't know what's just happened there. Team Little Bear's just somehow lost it. So these 2 guys might have been a little bit of contact. Looks like there's a couple of guys just neck coating a little bit. Sure, Bruce, I don't think that's in play, mate. I'd have to read the driver briefing, but there's a few cars here actually just look like they're neck coating, so I don't know if it's me or it should be. I'm only a spectator. Well, we'll go back to the action. So Gazza in the AMGs, he makes his way around on turn 11 onto the main straight. Just dropped off just a fraction there from Black Falcon. Riggsy's 1.2 seconds behind. Got Jono Stan. He's coming up on Max. So we know that Max is a very clean driver. He will just stick to his line. And by doing that, what he does is he forces the people, or the person that wants to make the pass, that they have to find a way. Because Max is definitely not pressured into making mistakes. Well, these guys are pretty close, so just looking at the timetable there, Rixie's just caught a little bit of time back up on Penguin also, but we'll just stick with these guys. This is a good battle so far. So John O'Stan is the classic example of somebody that when they come to the racetrack, they just arrive and drive. So he doesn't spend a lot of time doing a lot of practice, but I know he loves his racing. He'll turn up to a track, and he's probably spent last year in the Lamborghini, and did a really good job too. So 7/10 behind Max. Max, again, like I said, cool head, just keeps doing what he does best, and that's just driving in a straight line and driving forwards. And just looking at the time up here between Riggsy and Penguin. So Riggsy is slowly catching up with JJ Penguin. Then we've got Fly there. It's got a fair bit of damage down on the left-hand side of his McLaren, up into P10. So that's a pretty good effort from where he was. He's still got 50 minutes, so he's still got plenty of opportunity to catch some of these guys back up. Not entirely sure what happened in terms of contact there for Fly, but really disappointing considering where he started. It's on board with the Lambo, John O'Stan. A little bit tail happy there. He's running a traction control of 2. So just drops down the gears just nicely. So he's just trying to put enough pressure on Max to try and hopefully force him into a mistake, but you can see that Max is not even driving defensively. He's not driving, you know, inside the track lines or anything like that. He's just to see what he does. He might just cover here on the main straight, but he does move over to the right. It's on the brakes just nicely, just touches the curbing there of the apex, goes out nice and wide. So basically forces Sandhouse out on the outside here. And you look at the helicopter radar, the guys are side by side as they come around turn 3 and 4 into turn 4. Something's going to give here in a second, and Max has let him go through, which is a very smart move, because what Max gets to do now is follow Stanhouse around and put some pressure back on him. So there's a little bit of a lesson if you're the racer out there. Sometimes it's really hard to, you know, when you are side by side like that, it's just wondering who's going to give that position. Sometimes the best thing is to give position so that, you know, you can continue to have a clean race and still finish off with a really good position on completion of the race as well. Alrighty, so we've got 47 minutes to go. Still got a long way to go. We've got Team Little Bear has completed his mandatory pit stop in the Honda there. We've got Riggsy and Penguin still stuck together. Gaza is still cycling around fairly closely in behind Black Falcon. Now I know with these guys, look like somebody went out in the dirt there, but with these guys as well, as Fly's in the pits too, when they're racing this close, you know, when it comes time to making up positions, but when you come into the pits, super critical to practice your pit stops, so that when you drop in the box, you know, you drop the car in there in its exact position, so that you don't waste seconds and I can tell you that if you are slightly off, as a lot of you guys will know that, and you know, girls that are watching too, that you know, if you're not quite in there, it will add seconds to an already long pit stop. So the reason why I'm not racing, Bruce, is because that's a good question. I had a little go at Monza there when I was on holidays over the Christmas period for 3 weeks, and then ended up getting bloody COVID as well. So I had an extra week up my sleeve of being off, but I was away from Melbourne for that whole entire time, and I'm just purely having a rest from driving. Just enjoying hopefully the broadcasting, you know, with the use of the camera, trying to bring that next level of engagement to the people that are watching. Hopefully it's not too distracting, and that I don't talk too much, but you know, look forward to any feedback. If you are watching and you feel like I could do anything different, by all means put a comment in there so that I can make that adjustment. But ultimately, I'm also waiting for the new update as well, mate. So I'm still a little bit undecided as to what car I'm going to drive. Sort of tossing up between the Bentley and the Porsche and the Aston Martin, my top 3 at the moment. So pretty keen to see the changes in those cars with the new update. And obviously with the tyre management and how all that plays out as well. Probably just want to start afresh with season 6 and not go in there with any sort of preconception of how good I think I am, and then get to the update and then find out that I'm just crap. So yeah, that's but thank you for the question, mate, and thank you for jumping on and watching as well. Alright, so we'll just go through to JJ up in P1. So out of all the guys, Team Little Bear's the only one that has actually completed a pit stop. Right down the bottom there, you've got Kraken as well. He's 2 laps behind, still needs to do an actual mandatory pit stop. So Arrow in position 12, Familiar in the Lexus in P11, Sparky God. So we saw Sparky spear off into the fence there on lap 1. Sandhouse in P9, Max Cassett in P8, John O'Stan in P7, JCR in 6, St Sim in P5, Gazza P4, Black Falcon in P3, and Riggsy in up behind JJ Penguin. So big hello to the A group as well that are racing alongside this server. I believe that Nick is commentating that race. Can't confirm that 100%. This is actually me doing this tonight, was last minute. Been quite busy myself as Riggsy's gone around, so he will not be happy with... Oh, he's just done an old Scandinavian flick there, and a little bit aggressive on the old accelerator pedal. He's just trying to get back on track. But if I know Riggsy like I do, even though he made a little mistake there, I have no doubts he's still smiling. But what he's done is he's done a couple of things here. He's given a great big gap now to Penguin, who has no pressure. So Falcon is 8 seconds in behind JJ. He's let Gazza through as we just jump on board quickly with John O'Stan, who's going to try and look to make a move on JCR in the McLaren. Whoa, and he's just launched it over that curbing. So this, I wouldn't be surprised if tonight we see some drive-throughs for track limits being exceeded. Really easy to do. And just going back to Riggsy, the other thing that he's done as well is he's given up his position in top 2, where he gets the opportunity to move up into the A group. So we can see a fair bit of work there. Nice little colours to the uniform and the helmet. Shove on the dash here. Give you a little bit of a perspective, as it looks like they were pretty close to each other. Well, he's certainly got the move done. Let's just push it back in front of JCR there, just to let him know that he's made a nice clean move. So well done. That's a really good move. And the way that car's behaving on those ripple strips, you can just see the shock absorbers and dampers just absorbing those bumps. Alrighty, so where have we got? No one really close. We've got 14 and 97. Oh, that's cracking. He's got some late traffic coming up in behind him. Unfortunately, Fiona, if you're still watching, poor old Chris Riggs has had a little bit of an incident there at turn 2 in his attempt to try and get back on the racing line. He's spun it around again, so he's dropped back down to position 4. He'll be pretty dirty that he's done that. But if his young fella's watching too, g'day little Riggsy. Hopefully you're cheering for your dad. I'm sure that you can't give him a pat on the back, and a bit of encouragement will get him back up there, mate. So we've got Black Falcon is 8 seconds still in behind Penguin. So Penguin's got no pressure. Just driving his little silver Audi around Zolder at the moment. So he still looks like he's still dropping in some pretty good laps, but he will still need to be careful of track limits. It certainly doesn't want to bring any unnecessary penalties his way. And it's got Black Falcon's just 9 seconds behind, so he's falling further back. Gadger in the AMG. It's just coming up. Still in there behind Falcon, so he's got him in his sights. Doesn't want to drop off too much. So what can happen here too when these guys make their pit stops? I mean, it could be the difference between, you know, again, incorrect pit entry, not getting into the box properly, and there could be an easy position change, you know, right there between those guys. So Riggsy is 8.9 seconds behind Gazza, so he lost a lot of time with that little turnaround there, the pirouette at turn 2. So I just wonder what he's. So he's on traction control 5, so he's certainly got it from a management point of view for stopping it from turning around. It's pretty good. Certainly right in the curves nicely. He's got the nice carbon steering wheel there with the blue gloves. This corner here, as you come in, turn 9, make your way up through this turn 10 where he's just gone through, on approach to turn 11. Super critical to get the braking marker points perfect right there. You can lose so much time, especially with those ripple strips too, because they are quite harsh. Alrighty, we'll just give some of these guys some air time. So Team Little Bear in the Honda. Loves his Hondas. Doesn't care that he's at the back. He just loves to race and gets in amongst it all and just has fun. really good guy to chat with. I've been on a few party chats with Team Build-A-Bear and constantly just laughing and joking and mucking around. Kraken is a new one that I haven't actually come across so much, but unfortunately with that incident there for him at the start, got a fair bit of damage, so it's basically put him 2 laps down. But one of the things, with Kraken is, and I've seen it before, where guys, they'll get taken out, they'll get put into a wall, and they basically crack it and they storm out of the server and leave, and that's one of the things that he hasn't done. So even though he is 2 laps down, he's still giving it all and doing the best that he can, and at the end of the day, if you're driving, he's having fun. We've got Arrow. Oh, I love this livery. I pick a livery every round that I love, and I think that this is probably going to be my pick for tonight. I just love the white over the red. The King's Meat Snacks looks really cool, so quite impressed with that. We've got Familiar in the Lexus. Probably one of the coolest sounding cars in terms of V8 sound in the game. It's just, aside from the GT4 with the Maserati and the V8 in that, but the Lexus is certainly a ripping car, which is what Riggsy's driving. We've got Saint Sim in there. Gaz has caught right up onto the back of Black Falcon. Just jump on board with Black Falcon here for a second to see what Gaz is doing as he goes on the grass. Bit of Jim's mowing action going on there. I have heard that Gazza is selling Jim's mowing franchises, so I can see why. So Black Falcon's got the indicator on, so he's going into the pits. That is just professional. I love that. He's got enough common sense to set his buttons up on his steering wheel to show with his indicator to Gazza that he's going to come into the pits. Yeah, that's just brilliant. So we'll just see. We've got Penguin's stuck in the air. So I'm not sure what's going on there with Jojo, but I dare say after, looks like he's net coded out of the game, so he'll be very, very upset with that, how that's played out, considering that he was so far in front. Let me just quickly just get rid of some of this. Keep getting this messages coming up through the live chat. So what that's done is, with JJ now out of the race, it's put Gazza up into P1. So he hasn't done his pit stop yet, but Saint Sim is up into P2. John O'Stan in the Lambo in P3. Sparky God's in the pits with a heap of damage to his Audi there. I'm not sure. So mandatory pit stop with tyre change is 30 seconds. Not sure if he's actually going to do any repairs to that car. By the looks of it, I dare say that there would be certainly some performance issues there, but we just want to keep an eye on Gazza here, because traditionally what I know about Gaz is that when he's up the front, he'll try and run as long as he can before he goes into the pits and burn off as much fuel as he possibly can as well. So he'll be very, very mindful of the fact that Black Falcon is down in P8. He'll just be looking at, if he makes up any times on some of these guys that he's racing with. You got Familiar that's 6 seconds up the track, so he's certainly not going to put any interference into Falcon's way of, you know, making his way forwards and trying to maintain that position that he had over Gaz. So, and then we've got Riggsy as well, who's just coming across the start-finish line, who's completed his pit stop in P9. So I'll just check the phone, see if Jojo's dropped a message. Get a message from Falcon as well, with him being up on pole position, but he was a little bit nervous. But right now he's in a very, very good spot for finishing this race in P1. So let's just see if JJ's put anything on the chat. Not HSV if you're on, mate. If you're not, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there is a stream for Split One. I thought there was. I thought Nick was doing it, so we'll just keep an eye on that. But alrighty, so Saint Sim and Max have all come into the pits. Stanhouse as well, so all these guys in position 4, 5 and 6 are all in the pits at the same time. And you can see just there with Stanhouse, his car's creeping forwards, so he couldn't find where his pit box was there. He basically would have wasted easily 5, 6 seconds with how that, and it's one of the most frustrating things when that happens. Can't see anything from Jojo yet. I dare say that he's probably best left alone at this particular moment. He's probably come into the pits, parked his car in there, gone out the back door there, gone into the caravan, slammed the door. Probably has his head in his hands as well. So yeah. Big shout out to you, Fiona. Thank you for jumping on board as well and supporting Riggsy. He's in for a position. Gaz is in the pits. Here we go. We'll watch this. We'll see where he pops out. So I'm not sure what time he went in. We've got Black Falcon coming down on approach to turn 11 to the chicane here. Gaz is still in the pits, hasn't dropped. Falcon gets a little bit oversteering on corner exit. Here we go, Gaz is out. Oh, this is going to be close. I reckon Gaz might just pop in behind him. Yep, he has. Black Falcon has absolutely just demolished Gazza in that little exchange. So that's a decent gap back to Gaz, and we'll just see what the timing. So 3.8 seconds. So Gazza was definitely closer than that before Black Falcon went into the pit. So this is a really good effort. But what it does as well, it's Familiar hasn't pitted as yet, but this allows Gazza and Black Falcon to potentially be the movers and shakers up into the A group. So Familiar doesn't need to get out of the way here because he is still in position. He has moved to let Gazza through, so that's very sportsmanlike of him to do that. Not required because he hasn't actually completed his pit stop, so that was for position. And we've got Riggsy coming down to turn 11, still 4.4 seconds in behind Gazza. Jono stands 21 seconds in behind Riggsy, so we've got JCR in the McLaren, just cycling in. just nicely in behind Saint Sim. So these guys, all of them except Familiar, have all done their pit stops. We've got Max cruising around on his way to turn 11. Stanhouse, where's Sparky? So Sparky, there we go. I think he actually put a comment, 50 seconds that he was in the pits for. So, you know what, if you've got 30 minutes or 35 minutes of the race to go, there's no point driving around in a car that looks like it should be in Wreckfest. It would be terrible to drive under those conditions. You know, sometimes you'll see where you're driving in a straight line and the steering wheels, if you look at my steering wheel, will be sort of in that position. You can't drive like that, so you need to 100% have a nice straight car. So we haven't got any close battles on track at the moment, but got this man here who is doing an absolutely awesome job. Unfortunately, JJ Penguin, who was running outright in first position, appeared to have server. I still can't see any comms there from him indicating what might have happened, but yeah, bit disappointing there for JJ. But just some of the new sponsors that we've got. Well, I've just got the opportunity. So we've got welcoming Coach Dave Academy. So Coach Dave Academy provides car setups and driver coaching for Assetto Corsa Competizione. So one of our new sponsors that's come on board. The other one is SimGrid. So SimGrid is basically it's a program or a management tool that you can use for championships and leagues. Basically, it just makes it easier for drivers to access races, which is currently run through the PC for Assetto Corsa Race on Oz. So, and our other sponsors, so Selby Acoustic Racing, been with Race on Oz for a long time, since 2015 actually. So Sean at Selby Acoustic Racing was a driver with Rooz before his business took all of his time, but has continued to support us with fantastic prizes each year. So big shout out to Sean there. ICR, so they basically provide button boxes, and they've been providing us with prizes since 2017 to the winners and whatnot. I actually a couple of years ago won a ignition controls racing button box as well. Unfortunately, it doesn't work on ACC, but when it was working with Project Cars 2, it just brought a next level of excitement to my experience from my office here at home. So, Talk Tuition, long-term member, started a coaching website for TD Sports drivers, has sponsored Race on Oz and looking to help as many people as he can become better drivers. We've got, and that looks like about it. So just the other one that I wanted to make a quick reference to, as we're just cycling around with Black Falcon, is the Podium website. Again, I talk about this just about every broadcast that I do with Bounty, who has put that together. If you haven't seen it, definitely jump on through Discord, have a look at the website. Bounty does all of the championship tables for all of the leagues on for Rooz. As I've mentioned every week, the website constantly changes with improvements. Does a really good job. There is a link in there to shout a shoey. So basically, it's to shout a few dollars if you can. You know, as Falcon launches over that chicane, so you want to be super careful there with track limits. does not want to get any track warnings. Actually, I wonder if I can see whether he... No, I can't. But getting a bit taily there too, I just noticed. So just, yeah, with the track temperature's gone down to 23, so this is a big change. So some of these guys will be struggling at the moment with tyre pressures being right down, so certainly be difficult to be driving around. As Riggsy's actually caught up to Gaz, if the camera will hurry up and follow him. So with 21 minutes to go, this is on. So Fiona, if you're there, keep barracking for Riggsy. He's not that far behind and catching. So, but just getting back to the podium website. So it does all the championship tables. It does have the opportunity there where you can sponsor a couple of dollars, donate a couple of dollars towards the website, and basically all it is just to help Bounty maintain that website. So something that he does on the side of his normal day-to-day stuff. If you can just chuck a few dollars that way, it helps him. It helps all of Rooz, and for Gaz just launched it over that rip strip there as well. Couldn't imagine what damage that would be doing to his undercarriage of his car, but you know, Riggsy will be sitting there watching that right now thinking, okay mate, you just keep doing that and I'll just keep reeling you in, and by the time I catch up to you, your tyres will be pretty much buggered. So thanks Fiona. So just to finish off, yep, the podium, get on board. It's a really easy website to navigate around, really cool, and well done to Bounty for getting it to where it is today. Let's go Riggsy. Now the thing is, when Riggsy catches up to Gazza, which I think he will, so Riggsy actually used to be part of Team BHR, which Gazza is the captain of. And Riggsy actually has got a fairly big alliance with us, a lot of us guys here in the Team BHR group, even though he co-captains with Burradog. I've no doubt that the gloves are off with between these two guys. Gazza's not going to let him just come up behind him, and as Gaz just goes over that ripple strip again, I'm not sure what's going on. It must have to do with the tyre pressures. Whether he can't pull it up, you can see here, Riggsy has just pulled him in. We'll just jump on board with a lap with Gaz. I'm just curious as to why he keeps hitting that rip strip the way that he does. Well, he doesn't really look like he's struggling too much. That's a positive. Now, Riggsy's still got him in his sights. Gazza's been around for a long time, so Gazza will not be panicking here. His car seems to be gripping up all right. Maybe he's just had a couple of moments where he's had a couple of brain farts and just hit that chicane a little bit too hard. So he's 1/10 up on his PB at the moment. This is with the track temperature dropping, so you know, he's still pushing pretty damn hard at the moment. So this is a bit that I'm curious about. If he goes through here clean, I know that he just had a couple of moments where he just, yeah, so probably a little bit heavy in terms of going over that, but so Riggsy's got some nice lines there. See if he can't So just remembering that Riggsy had that spin around there at turn 2 halfway through the race. See if he gets it on the rev limiter here at the... Oh, nearly. We'll see if he gets it on the rev limiter here on up on the end of this start-finish straight. So it'll be a fifth gear rev limiter, I reckon. No, 4th. He does. He absolutely just valve bounces that thing in 4th gear. And there in 3rd gear as well. So he's been doing that consistently pretty much every lap. So he's got a good, nice drive out of here. We'll just straight off the, get off the gas a bit. You'll see Gaz is a little bit tail happy. So Riggsy will need to be, probably take a good couple of laps just to work out where he wants to try and, as Gaz is definitely hitting that. I reckon he's playing with fire with the old track limits. And actually in saying that, we could even be, because I can't see on screen, but it could be the same for Riggsy. He might be on 3 warnings already, so I know how that feels. You've got to drive very conservatively, but you still want to drive very competitively at the same time. So that AMG just seems to be driving away at the moment. Yeah, so Gaz is just doing that nicely. It's got no damage. It's got a very clean car. We've got, so just to go through the list, we've got Falcon cycling around in the matte black Bentley, 6.8 seconds in front of Gazza. You've got Gazza in P2 with Riggsy hot on his tail. 14 minutes to go. The track temperature has dropped down to 22 degrees. So there's still an opportunity where there could be some extra changes that come. We've got ambient temperature of 20 with a little bit of wind. Of 7 kilometres an hour, which is not going to have too much impact on the speed of these cars going down any of the straights. And what Riggsy is waiting for here is Gazza to make a mistake, which doesn't happen very often, but he's in close. Well, one of the things I know with Riggsy as well, he's not the sort of guy that will just dive bomb you. So you know, there's a few guys that are pretty good at doing that, and it's sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But so as I was going to say before, Riggsy will be, you know, even though he's been following Gazza, he's caught up to him. He's been following Gazza around now for a few laps. It's just going to be looking for where Gazza's not quite as strong on track. And it will be coming up into the Klein chicane, which it looks like he's struggling on turn 4 there as well, just a little bit. But if Gazza keeps launching it over these ripple strips here, which he's just doing quite nicely. I'm not quite sure why the blue flags are waving. That happens every time I watch this, when you've got 2 guys fighting for position and we've got blue flags waving. So the blue flag man needs to put his flag away and just let the racing happen. So Jono stands quite a bit behind there. St. Sim cycle around P5, JCR in 6, Max in 7, Sandhouse in 8, Sparky. It's a good recovery from his initial crash on lap 1. Familiar in Alexis in P10. Arrow, I love the colours, well done. My pick for tonight, Arrow in P11. Team Little Bear in the Honda, cycling around in P12. And Kraken in the Ferrari, copped a lot of damage at the start there as well. in P13. So it's going back up to where the battle is. So we'll just stay with these guys for a little bit. I'm not sure how much is actually going to happen in terms of position change, but I would, if I was a fly on the wall right now and I was in Gaz's house, I'd probably go and grab his keys and take his Tesla for a drive first, and then come back and just see how he's cracking in the seat. Hopefully he's got a fan on him, because I have no doubts that he will be sweating bullets right now. And if he's paid for this experience, he's definitely getting his money's worth. Yeah, I can't believe the level of experience between these two guys. Just the professionalism, the respect, and this is the sort of stuff you want to see. This is real racing, guys. Like, this is where the fun stuff comes in. Let me just get rid of this love face comments. Apologies for oh, here we go. I'm going to report it. So it's unwanted commercial content or spam. So it's just been reported. Hopefully they leave us alone. So I've got the hat, still waiting on my merchandise to turn up for Adman Racing, Adman 72 Racing. So got a hat coming with number 72 on it. This particular hat with number 6 is something that we purchased just recently down at here in Melbourne at the Avalon Speedway. So we had Cam Waters in the sprint car going around, so V8 supercar driver in the Ford Mustang for Monster Energy. Had some really cool merchandise, and my son young Lenny Dogs, Scazza just drops his left hand rear. So we've got those two guys, Kraken and Team Little Bear, fighting for position here in front of Gazza and Riggsy. So this will be interesting to see how this plays out, whether this is going to give Riggsy the opportunity that he's looking for. So you can see here, even though they're battling for position, oh, so Riggsy's right all over. Oh. So well done to those guys. Looks like Kraken's taken the opportunity to pass Team Little Bear as he's let Gazza and Riggsy through. So yeah, Cam Waters was the driver there, selling a lot of merchandise and had some really cool stuff going on. So I can tell you that by the end of the night, there was a lot of kids running around with their Cam Waters, hoodies and t-shirts and hats. So I don't know if there's any Speedway fans out there that love watching the sprint cars. I've watched them my whole entire life as Team Little Bear just goes off on the grass there. But I can tell you that when you get a V8 supercar driver in there, running around with McFadden and whatnot, it brings a next level of excitement. So and did a really good job too. So exactly like these guys are. So Riggs has just gone slightly wider there to try and cut in. From JJ yet, so I'm not sure. He's probably just shut down his PlayStation, I think, in discuss. So I did watch him. I did the broadcast and stream last Thursday for the GT4s, and he had a terrible run there as well. So he wasn't prepared to talk about it the next morning, as it still hit home a little bit. But Riggsy's just gotten really unsettled there, as he's just hitting one of those major bumps on exit of turn 7, so Villeneuve chicane, which has given Gazza a little bit of breathing room. What I have noticed as well is that Gazza's actually starting to rein in Black Falcon to here a little bit, so he's still doing it comfortably. But what he'll be seeing is that Gazza's actually popping up into his rear vision mirror at times. He's got some lap traffic coming up ahead of him. So truck's down at 20. Looks like the sun's going down. So this particular server for the B group is set up with a 3 times multiplier. So the time and everything is sped up 3 times. So you can see the shadows of the trees and the wind farm blades are getting quite long. So the sun will be going down. So I'm not sure if at any point the sun will be shining in their eyes. So let's just have a look. So we've got the sun in behind him now. So you can see it is quite bright on the dashboard. It'll be interesting to see when he comes around turn 3, turn 4, where the sun is actually positioned. So the shadows are quite long. JJ, mate, really sorry to see that happen. I'm not sure what went on, but quite odd that your car was just stuck up in the air there. But I think that what you've done is, by grabbing a beer, is the right thing. So just wash all that down. But we're just going to have a look as Falcon comes around onto turn 3. Yeah, so the sun doesn't really seem to be a factor to the drivers at this stage, which is good. Sometimes when the sun does go down, it can actually, as Sparky got hit that ripper strip quite heavily as well, can actually be quite distracting through the windscreen for the guys that are on the dash view. Yeah, so that's really bad luck for yourself, mate. It's unfortunate, but good qualifying. Nice that you got up there into P1 quite quickly at the start of the race and you were able to pull away. What you probably didn't see was that when Riggsy had his little turnaround, you would have driven off by at that stage, but as he tried to correct himself, he actually gassed it too much and spun himself around again and lost position to Falcon and Gazza. So beautiful, mate. That okay, so you're transitioning over to PC with the racing as well. So I've actually heard that there's a few guys from console that have transitioned over to the PC. It sounds like there might be quite a few more that do that as well. So that's okay. It's whatever you prefer and floats your boat. I prefer the plug and play stuff. I know that there's sort of next level experiences with the PC and whatnot, but who knows? I might be swayed into doing the same thing. I've got some brothers that have been watching tonight as well. Tom and Stu Parsons that raced last night. Tomo actually made up a huge amount of positions. So for his first season, his first crack at ACC, to be able to do that, very, very good achievement. I know Stu did as well, but was like a few of the other guys, succumb to the old pit board being moved up the pit road a little bit, and then getting the 30-second stop-go penalty. And I think, in fact, Stuart actually got 3 stop-go penalties. Every time he came in to address that, it would pop back up again after he exited the pit. So yeah, not a happy chap, but yeah, no, well, that's good to hear, mate. I'm glad that that's what it is. I did mention about the 30 cars being included in the new update, so that's going to be super exciting. Alrighty, sun is going down. We've got 1 minute to go. We'll just jump on board here with Black Falcon. So this man here has done an absolutely fantastic job to get it where he is. Just as Stanhouse is putting a bit of pressure on, but I'll stay with Falcon here. As he comes around, we may get another lap in, or we may not. So he's driven an absolutely fantastic race. Unfortunately, JJ dropped out through disconnection, which has given the position to Black Falcon. He did have Gazza right up his back end there for a little bit before the pit stop, so he's obviously done a very good pit stop as well, and basically came out 3.5 to 4 seconds ahead of Gazza, and it's basically just been cycling around for the rest of the race for probably the last 20 minutes. And there it is, the checkered flag has gone to that man. Well done, mate. Awesome effort. Gazza's coming across the line in P2. Those two guys will go up into the A group. Riggsy in P3. That is unfortunate that he had that spin around. I have no doubts that he would have easily have been up there for sure. We've got John O'Stan in P4 in the Lamborghini, so really good effort from him. St. Sim will come across the line. In P5, JCR P6, Max in P7. I don't know how this guy does it. He races Monday night, Tuesday night, Thursday night, and whatever else he does in between that. That guy must be glued to his seat because he's always in it. But good on you, mate, for that position. Sparky God in P8, Sandhouse in P9, Familiar in P10, Kraken in 11, and apologies to you, mate, for saying KK at the start, but I'm glad that you clarified that. That won't happen again. Arrow and let's have a look. Hang on, let's just have a listen. So there you go, Riggsy. A very excited man on his way to work. But well done, guys. Really good effort. So yeah, apologies to the list there. So Arrow in P12 and Team Little Bear in P13. And unfortunately, we lost JJ. What happened to Scotty Pye? He was only there for a short little bit. And did a really good job in the Thursday night race as well in the GD4s. Race 2 in particular, if you want to watch that stream, absolutely amazing how those guys race. Again, professionalism, race etiquette was just 10 out of 10. So from me, thank you guys, really appreciate that